Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Monday, November 27, 2023, and I'm back with my weekly cross-stitching update. I have a little bit of everything to share with you today, and I brought Smokey in to hang out with me, so it's all gonna be, it's all here. I have some things I bought, some things I got, and then I can show you what I worked on and what I'm planning to work on. So first, I had a purchase on Northern Expressions Needlework. They had a Black Friday sale. They may or may not still be going on. I'm not sure. Today is Monday, Cyber Monday. So a lot of the little shops are still having sales. I have one too. I guess I'll put my little blurb in here. There's 25% off PDF and print copies in my Etsy shop. For the rest of the day, until the rest of the day. It'll end here on Monday. So yay, there's Kitty. More bathing. Anyways, so a lot of you have already taken advantage of that. I did notice Etsy has an Etsy coupon right now for like $5 off 30 or something. So if you combine the sales that you see, either my shop or other shops, with that coupon, you save a lot of money. So that's an idea too. So anyways, yeah, so I found this. I saw on her Instagram that she was having sales. I'm like, oh, I've been looking at Esther's Waves for a really long time. So I went and bought it. So this has like a lot of specialty stitches and a lot of beads, and it looks wonderful. So I shouldn't start this until I finish Twisted Band Sampler, but we'll have to see. No promises, but I thought I need it in my stash at least because I really like it and I keep coming back to it. I also received some Stitchy Kindness from Amy over at Fiber Arts Amy. She has started a new company called Oak Crown Studios where she's dyeing fabric. So that's really exciting. Here's her like handles. Fiber Arts Amy is her personal Flosstube, and Oak Crown Studios I think I don't know if she has a Flosstube or if it's just Instagram. You can check both. But she wanted to share some of her stuff with me. I didn't make it over to buy anything yet because I'm not often in the market for fabric unless I'm like have something in mind. I don't generally buy fabric just to buy fabric. I usually buy it for projects specifically, and I just haven't been kitting anything up recently. So I do plan to go over there and check stuff out when I do have a need for some more fabric. But in the meantime, she sent me some goodies. So I have Tiki Oasis, which is a 32 count Lugana, and it's really pretty. It's a nice light teal, just like it's showing there. So this will definitely be something I would use because I like blues and greens. And this is a perfect, she sent me 32 on both of these, which is perfect for fancy ladies because as you know, if you follow Amy, she loves her, mirabilias, lavender and lace, things like that. So this will definitely get used for something of that nature. Possibly, actually, this could be for anything really because it's more, not highly modeled. So it could even work for something else. Oh, what was I thinking? Like the tiered trays by Madame Chantilly, something like that. That would look really cute on that too. And then she sent the November 2023 fabric of the month. So that's the one this month. I'm assuming since it's the end of November that whoever is in her fabric of the month club, you've already gotten this. But in case you don't have yours and want to be surprised, you should look away. This one is called Firefly because she is dyed this specifically for the lavender and lace Firefly Fairies pattern. I'll put a picture of that here. I don't think I have that pattern, but I could see how this would really work for that because it's got that splotch right in the middle. And I guess she's always wanted to dye fabric for that pattern, and this is one that she is going to do herself as well. So that's really fun. It would also work. She put in a little note. Where did that note go? She was suggesting it could also work for some Halloween patterns. Sleepy Hollow by Glendon Place, some praiseworthy stitch houses, or Haunted Mansion by Tiny Modernist, things like that were some suggestions she thought of. So that's really pretty. So if I ever get the Firefly Fairy, I am set. And in the meantime, I'll keep my eyes open for other things that this would also look good on. So very fun. I like that it's purples and blue, and it's very pretty. So yeah, thank you, Amy. I need to figure out what to put on these now that I have them. I am very blessed with lots of pretty fabrics, and I am not sure when to stitch everything. I have so many things that I would like to work on and so little time, as we all know. I also got another package from the Fat Quarter Shop. They just sent me their like October things that I showed last week. And granted, I was a week behind. I think that's everything. But already here's November stuff. So this is the 11th Chicken Club. This is Pearl. So there's one more of these coming down the pike. There's, let's see, lots of quilts. This is November's stackable, which is appropriate since we just had Thanksgiving. There's a pumpkin pie. Very fun. And then lots of quilting things. There's a Millie's dresses, which is kind of cool. You quilting the dresses. Those are fun. And that was by Lori Holt. This is 2x2 by Angelise Jazzo Tucker. Very a blocky one. It's a little small. Quilt features Noah's Ark fabric. Oh, that's cute. There's little animals in some of these. A big cute baby quilt. Here's Dewdrops, which is fun to have these little spots of white in there. That's an It's So Emma by Jocelyn Ewing, and then this one's by Crystal Stahn, Do-Si Do. So those are pretty. There's it all together, and then so yeah, that's fun. I got all of those. So yeah, I'm excited about all the things. Let's do travel stitching now. All right, travel stitching. I worked on Temperature Quaker yesterday, like I do. I'm getting close to the end of November, and then starting next week, I will be able to do the A and the B up here in December and start coming through and filling in all these little bits and bobs. That will be December, the dates for December, so that'll be fun to see it all kind of fill in. So here is this one. 25 count vintage cloth in the color Prim, 1/1 full cross, and we're getting cooler again here in November. Lots of blues, still no purples, which is good. We'll see if December has any purples. But yeah, super fun. I'm excited to work on my turtles next year. That's one that the newest one that I designed, so I'll start that when this one's done. With my Advent animals, I didn't have school pickups this week, but I did have family get-togethers, and we watched shows as a family and Broncos game and all that kind of stuff. So I did do a little bit of this. Someone brought to my attention that I had not yet frayed the edges of cashmere camel, so on the edge here. So I did that. That was good. Thank you for pointing that out. I probably would have noticed eventually, but it was nice to be told. And then I finished Fitzwilliam Frog, which I was very close on the finish last week, but got that done and fully finished as well. These are 18 count light blue Aida, 2/1 full cross. And I've already started on Rascal Raccoon, who is my second to last one. Technically, these were all on my Whip Go board, so technically this is the first December call, which is not December yet, but I am already working on it because I want these done as soon as possible. So here is where I've gotten to on Rascal Raccoon. And if you are astute, you will notice that I have frogged some things. And so when I was coming down here with the black, so I had the green outline of the cookie jar done like 2 or 3 years ago when I did all of these with just a little bit of color. And on this one, I did the green in the top of the hat, 2 eyeballs, and the cookie jar outline. Apparently, between the eyeball and the cookie jar, I didn't count right, and it was one too high, the cookie jar was. And so when I was coming down here with the black, it was hitting the stuff a little bit too much. I had already done this, some gray here on the bottom of the raccoon that matched the ears, I think. And then the lighter stripes I had stitched also. So I was hitting this stuff wrong, and I counted and realized that there was one less stitch than I needed in here. And so rather than try to fudge it and have the entire thing be the wrong size to match all the others, I went ahead and took it out because I wanted it to be the same finished size. I don't want it to be different. And then finished the black, and now I can restitch all that other stuff. I'll probably do more from the top downs to make sure I don't miscount again. But this actually happened one other time on Larry Lion, which I forgot to mention when I showed it because it was a stitch I worked on vacation, and I had frogged it and restitched it. And I think even finished it before I came back and showed you. So it was like out of my head to tell you, but that was the same problem where it was a little bit too long of a line, like a amount of counting when I did that very first color, and the little crackers, Christmas crackers at the bottom were one too high or low than they should have been. So I ended up ripping that out and fixing it as well. So that's better. So I'll work on that this week. And I don't know, I'll show you just in case. Here is Alistair Alligator, just in case I get to him before I see you again. Here's the starting point on him. So I have a black done on him, and his is all very close together. So most likely it is not wrong. And those are the only two I noticed that I had miscounted on that first color. So not too bad for 25 of them to have only 2 with a major counting mistake. So, and I decided to frog the, on the raccoon, I decided to frog this stuff down here instead of all of this because it was a lot of stitching, but it was solid. This one had lots of different colors in it, so I felt like it would have been, I even have back stitching on part of the hat already. It would have been more complicated to take it out, and because I have threads running in and out of all the different colors. So I went ahead and did this because it was like one color, and so just, it was simpler. I did not work on my frosted pumpkin at all this week because of life. We got together with family in some form or another every day this week except for Tuesday. So there was a lot going on. Didn't get a call with my sister in, so I didn't work on that. And I also didn't get any, well, I got like a few stitches done on Shine Bright Sampler. I think I finished my thread. I did not finish the donut area. I'm not going to show that because it's, I don't know, hardly any stitches. I am hoping to finish the November section this week. I really would like to, and get going on December. So I don't want to be this far behind as a sponsored stitcher. I want to get it done at the beginning of the month. So hopefully I'll have a little bit more time to kind of chip away at that this week, because I didn't spend any time on it really this past week, because what time I did have I wanted to put towards my projects, and it was precious little time. So there wasn't a whole lot of time to split up between different projects. Monday I worked on letter S Fairy for a little bit, not very much. I think it looks like I finished my thread on Tuesday, so even that tells you there were some times like that where I didn't even get a whole length of thread done. But I'm chipping away at things. So I got total one length of thread done on this Monday and Tuesday combined. And so here's where this is at. This is the called for water lily linen 32 count, 2/2 full cross. The black S, a purple fairy, and I did one length of the dark black. It's like black coffee, I think. And so I'll work on this again today. I would like to get more done up here in the S, maybe even start in on some of the wing. Yeah, because that's pretty much all that's up here is, so I want to work from the top down, get that finished up. So I'll work, maybe try to fill this in and then starting on the wing perhaps. So we'll see how much time I have today, but I want to get that, make a little bit more progress on that today. Maybe some Shine Bright sampler this afternoon. We'll see how it goes. Then I did Bear Time Stories, and this was, I worked on it some, but it was a little underwhelming because I didn't have a lot of time. So I was kind of, I think I told you guys last time, it'd be nice to get 500 stitches. I'm not going to shoot for 1,000 because I'm only doing one day. I got less than 100. 93, woohoo! But I was going from stitching all the largest color to scattered amounts of the smallest amounts, colors with the least amount of stitches. So I finished 4 colors, and then I pulled out I looked at the next largest color and grabbed a length of thread to just try to get some numbers in, and that's still on my needle. I didn't even finish that. I was hoping to finish that, but I ran out of time. So here's Bear Time Stories. You probably won't see a whole lot of difference because the 4 colors that were finished were small amounts, you know, like I think 20 something was the most amount per color. So here is this one. This is on 40 count Vertil 1/1 half cross. This is the size of the whole design, and not a whole lot going on. I have a string up here with a dark orangey brown, which is the next largest color. So in order to get some numbers so I can actually make progress, I will work on several little colors to chip away at the, to get down to 0 stitches left in the different colors. I'll start from I have it sorted for colors with the least amount of stitches remaining, and I'll stitch them all in, and then when I get to a certain point in my rotation, I'll go to that big number if I feel like I need more stitches. So there's some pink in here. There's some like light blue, little bits that were, yeah, that's some like yellow. Kitty. There's some pink in here. And like in the marbles, there's a couple pieces, like very little that you'd be able to see, especially when it's only 93 stitches and it's 40 count. But I did do something, and I finished 4 colors, so woohoo! Not ideal, but it's better than nothing, and that might be what I do next year when I get this out for 2 days, is I may work on chipping away at small numbers on day 1, and then on day 2 work on big swaths of color. That might be a good plan for that one, to make sure that I can still make progress but also chip away at the small numbers. Then for 4 days I worked on Hidden Harbor. This is another one. This was the one I chose to kind of focus on in November. So I got a nice amount done, but it's not a ton, and as I told you, I wasn't home a lot. So some days were only like 100 stitches, but it was better than Simpsons last week when I got less than 100 stitches for the whole week. So this was okay. So this is by Andy Russell. I worked along here in the top, and you can see it gets really dark over here, and we can have the edge of this hill is kind of where we're stopping with the sky. So I'm all the way over here, which is fun. Here is this one. I guess I'll come up here because that's all there is to it. This is 28 count tea-dyed Monaco by Charles Craft, 1/1 full cross. And I'm picking my symbols in the 10 by 10 squares along the top, left to right, and then stitching them till the thread runs out. So a lot of it has been across at a sharp line here at the bottom of the 10 by 10 grid, just because in the sky it's kind of easy to just stop there and keep pushing my way over rather than coming down. So this was like solid color all the way across. So I ended up going all the way to this ridge line like I showed you on the cover page. This is where the hillside starts for several of these rows. And a lot of this is also that dark color. So yeah, that's where I got. I got a total of 810 stitches. So not terrible progress, but would have been better on a non-Thanksgiving week. But I still enjoyed working on that. And even my Bear Time stories, even though I didn't get very much done on it, it always kind of rejuvenates my stitchy bug whenever I work on that piece. It's so much fun. I do enjoy it a lot. Then I worked on my Celtic Ladies sampler for Sunday, and I actually had a decent amount of time on Sunday. We didn't, I mean, other than church, we didn't do anything. So getting together with people was church. I was home the rest of the day. I spent a lot of time stitching in front of the TV. During the Broncos games, I worked on my Advent animals during that time, but I went gangbusters on this to try to finish her face. I did a little bit of her hair and got all of her skin done. Her face is not detailed yet with the back stitching. So, but I was thinking of maybe doing that this morning, and then I kind of ran out of time. I'm like, I just need to film. I'm pulling this back out throughout December to work on the winter quadrant. So I'll finish up her face next Sunday before I go back, before I work up to the winter. So I think it'll be fine. So here's all of it and my autumn quadrant. This is 32 count lamb's wool linen by Witchelt. And I got finished up the darker color of hair that I had been working on and did all the skin. So I did this eye, which is a quarter stitch, in there. And there's also some in her garland. So that's on my needle right now. I'll finish, there's like maybe 15 stitches at most in the garland. And then her lips have one cross stitch that is the same color as the back stitching of her skin. So I'll do that all at the same time. And then I'll move up to winter. So here's my starting point for winter. And I'm planning, because I don't know what kind of time I'll have, I will probably do this dotted line across the top and start working on the lady right away. I would like to finish at least the W in the cross stitching so it spells winter. And over here I've got all the spring all beaded and blinged up already, but I don't know that I can get to that. I want to at least get the girl started. So you can see the collage getting going there. So throughout the month of December, hopefully I'll at least have this amount of progress on this girl. And if I get more of the words done, that will be icing on the cake. So. So I think that's all I worked on. I have plans, I'm not sure when this month, but some point in the month of December, I would like to do a plans video for what I'm going to do next year. I want to show like my things on my short list to try to finish and my rotation plan and that sort of thing. So I'll do a video for that at some point. Probably not this week, but in some point in December, I'll do that. And then I also have a plan to put out a video for my temperature pieces to highlight how to alter each one for a leap year, because 2024 is a leap year. So I'm gonna go through all of them. I think there's like 10 of them now, I don't even know. And show what is intended, or what's a good plan, I guess, for altering it for a 29th day of February. Some of them, it's charted in there and it's in the instructions to like say how to do it. And some of them it's less obvious. So I figured it'd be good to have a little video showing all the ones to date that I have made and how to adjust them for a leap year. So look for that before the end of the year. I think that's all. So plans for this coming week. I'm gonna work on my letter fairy today. So hopefully I can get a nice chunk of her done a little bit more. And then I'm gonna work on Dragon Ride by Teresa Winsler, which is my last family piece for the month. So I'll give that Tuesday and Wednesday, because there's Wednesday and Thursday are just kind of bonus days at the end of the month that don't have a specific plan. So I'll give this one an extra day. I can't remember where I was on this one. I don't think, oh yeah, I'm working in the saddle area. So here's this one, 28 count light blue even weave by MCG Textiles. Maybe I'll come closer. So if I work on in the saddle area, I can do before and after to get all of this, you know, bit done. I have more 1/1 to do on him as well. I have ground to do, I have border to do, lots of back stitching. So I'm not exactly sure. I'll probably work more on that saddle area at the very least. So, but 2 days on that. Tuesday, my son has a band concert, so there probably won't be as much stitching on that day, but we'll see how it goes. Then what is it, the 30th? I'll start in on my December focus piece, and I'll also work on that into December, which is Friday and Saturday. So, Heirloom Nativity Sampler by the Victoria Sampler. I'll work on this for 3 days here before I see you again. And my goal was to finish this in December, so I don't know if that's possible because I have a good amount of this seam left plus all this hardinger, which I've never done before. I'm not worried about it. I know how to follow a pattern, and I've done buttonholes on garments, so it's a similar concept. It's just I've never done it before, so I don't know how long it's going to take. We'll see. I'm holding that goal loosely because I know December can be busy as well with real life stuff. So I would like to get this as close to a finish as I can, and then maybe put it on my short list to finish next year if I really can't get it done this year. But giving it an extra couple days here at the top of the month will be helpful. And then I have 2 more weeks earmarked for it. A week meaning like a 4-day chunk in my rotation. So hopefully I'll be able to make some good progress on it or finish it. That would be great. So here it is now. I have it all completely finished from the top down. Beads, specialty stitches, everything is all done. This is on 32 count gray. It's a MCG Textiles gray. I don't think it's dove gray, but it might be. It's not made anymore, so it doesn't really matter. 32 count, 2/2 full cross with 1 strand for a lot of the specialty stitches. Here's my before picture for this last scene, and we'll see what I can do this week. So I'll give it 3 days this week, and yeah, we'll see what happens. And hopefully I'll get a good chunk of this main scene done, and then I can do the next couple bands and the hardinger, you know, next week. So we'll see how that goes. I think there's a chance I still could do it. And then Sunday, I'll pull out my Celtic Ladies again for seasonal Sunday, and I'll finish up the face, like the detail, the back stitching on the autumn lady, and then move up to the winter to spend the rest of December on the winter quadrant. So that's my plan. Yay. I'm seeing a lot of people starting all the things, and I have a list of things I'd like to start as well for next year. I don't know. Part of me really wants to start everything, and another part of me doesn't. So it's still kind of I'm torn in my insides about what I want to do with this hobby at the moment, but I'll just kind of write it out. I printed out the Bringo board, the Bringo prompts sheet in the Magazine Monthly Challenge group. They have a January event called Bringo, which is a bingo game where they draw a square every day for the first 25 days in January, and there's a list of prompts to go with that. And I enjoy doing that every January because then it's just kind of a fun way to start the year. And I also like this past year I did the one in September that they do also. It's like every twice a year is kind of fun, where what I try to do is to pick the things I'm already planning to work on in that month and fit those into the board. So the only variation, I guess, is when I'm working on them. I don't have my normal rotation. I just work on it when the bingo board tells me to. However, I can't fill the board out until the WIPGO numbers for January are called, because I'm planning to do 2 WIPGO boards next year, which I'll share in my plans video later what will be on the boards. One board will be full coverage and one board will be non-full coverage. And I'm planning to give each project 2 days. So there will be 4 focus pieces basically every month, and each one will get 2 days. And it's not a lot, but it will help me to get to everything, or not everything, more things. It'll help me touch more things throughout the year. So once I know those 4 projects, and then I'll have all my family pieces and my focus pieces and things of that nature, then I can fill in my bingo board for January. So it's all kind of dependent on everything else. So hopefully, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun, and I hope you have a wonderful week of stitching. Enjoy the end of November, beginning of December, and have a happy week. Happy stitching. Bye.